Good evening, good evening. I am back from my travels, ready for another video. I'm going to be speaking about Quant Network again. I already made a video about it around 2 weeks ago because we had some massive news back then. But this video, there's more news lately. Quant is on a roll and there looks like nothing is stopping it now. And also near the end of the video, I want to show you some charts, because I really found some patterns this time that looks like we actually had the true breakout, the last 2 days. And I think it will be upwards from here, from now on. And I will be showing you why. So really stay tuned for the charts aspect near the end. I will link the previous video as well down in the description so you can watch it if you haven't seen it again. I talked about the big news regarding tokenized sterling deposits that they were chosen by UK Finance. I talked about Quant Fusion that is coming, a new utility, and also talked about layer 2.5. So they had some big updates, and today I have some more news for you. So I want to be talking about this. So first of all, Quant had some massive news, an award-winning award. They won earlier in 2025 in June. As you can see here below, they won one of the Future of Finance awards. So I wanted to include this because it looked like there's another report out now that is talking about, it looks like it's talking about Quant, or at least the utility that Quant has. So first of all, you can see it's surrounded by massive names here. The JP Morgan, Circle, Visa, and this was the Future of Finance Awards. And they won Best Programmable Payments Platform. So they're up there with all the giants in regards to the future of finance. Now we're seeing Citigroup, Citi Institute, one of the biggest banks in the whole world. They are talking about programmable money represents the next stage in the evolution of finance. A systems where intelligence, compliance, and control are built in for inception rather than audit afterwards. So yeah, very interesting. They're basically in this report describing the utility of Quant, where they also, where Quant won an award from. So it's very interesting. These are the references you want to be keeping an eye on, because it's clearly that the banks are choosing, they're choosing what the future will become, and you don't want to ignore names like this. So very interesting mention there of basically describing a big part of Quant network. Then let's move on to some updates that we could expecting soon. First of all, we had Gilbert Verdian, the CEO, of course, of Quant Network. He was talking about staking. So staking is still on the roadmap. He wants to be introducing different forms of staking and rewards to encourage even more participation on overlap ledger platform. So what you can expect is the more adoption there comes on Quant, the more they're going to be earning. So expect some form of either revenue sharing or direct staking. There's a lot of possibilities there. And so they're still waiting for more regulatory clarity and legal clarity. So of course they want to do everything by the books. This is what they're known for. And this is why, it might be taking a while. We still don't know the exact time of this, but you can see that this is coming, and this will just cause more adoption for Quant. It will cause a lot of extra people to want to hold Quant and earn those passive income rewards. Then we had a good roundup here from shout out to Memento Quamfi. He's talking about fast forward 4 to 5 years and we're here. The Quant parabola feels very close now. So there's a few factors that will come into play, which I agree with him. This will, cause a very aggressive run for Quant Network. So first, the launch of an adoption of functioning interoperability with government-created security and regulatory compliance will set the standard for blockchain environments for large multinational entities. So this, this regulatory compliance stage is what we're actually still in right now. The stage is being set in the USA, but in the UK as well. And this is still ongoing. This will be, Quant is playing everything by the books. And this is why they're also chosen by entities like UK Finance to do these tokenized sterling deposit program as well. So one of the utilities of Quant is that companies or banks, institutions, they will have to eventually lock up tokens to access the network. Or have to use the tokens to use the network. So this is still in progress. But what you can expect is before mainnet launch and after regulatory greenlit banks holding crypto for paying fees in native tokens. So this is what we're waiting for. The same thing, of course, with the XRP and Ripple. We're waiting for the actual integration of the token and the use case there. This will cause fireworks because of the current market cap. It's actually very, very low if we would see mainstream adoption like this. Then, of course, we have the ISO 20022 compliant coins, which is Quant, is one of the very few tokens that are compliant with this. And we already starting to see some interest there. And he's saying like, the markets get smarter every cycle, and people will choose more regulatory compliant tokens. And Quant is one of the low caps out there. Said it a few times before. Of course, XRP Ripple is massive, and it's going to do very well. But the potential there with tokens like Quant and XDC could be a lot higher simply because of the market cap is so much lower. So he's saying this will draw in TradFi and investment funds that will be positioned for the next tokenization wave. We talked about tokenization as well. We have entities like BlackRock saying like a big portion of the whole financial infrastructure is going to be tokenized. So this is one where it's leading to. And then of course you have the FOMO aspect. This is very true. People like to be buying something as soon as it starts to run hard. It has been true since beginning of times whenever stocks started, and this will stay true. This is simply human psychology. So it could very well be, once it actually starts running, this is when the hype starts and people start to know about Quant. A very little amount of people who actually understand what's going on with Quant and what they're up to. Then we had an actual update here, which is a big one, which doesn't immediately sound too big, but I'm going to be explaining this. We have Gilbert Verdian talking about TC 307 to develop ISO standards for blockchain in 2016, basing it on ISO 20022 for mainstream adoption by financial institutions. So this is something they have developed. So Quant has developed this C307. And I'm actually going to be showing a short clip here from shout out to Crypto X AI Man. He's talking about this. He has a very good explanation of this, why this is such good news. Speaking that what is said it? What does it happen? QuantNet created this said to develop ISO standards for blockchain all the way in 2016. They see it on 2000. And so right now, 2000 for ISO 2000. It did not switch. Massive there. And ISO 2000 is using TC 307. This ISO TC 307 is blockchain and distributed ledger. Especially is this working directly with SH 8.2. This is the reports. Gilbert Verdi, CEO of Quant, linked upon his post right here. Literally, links to a post to this report. So, in this report here, they speak about Quant's payments, the multi-day, the overlenders around Quant network created. They
literally speak about it, how it can be used in ISO. And ISO about the cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency like Ripple. And look, it's eerie. Under blockchain.
Yeah, so good explanation here from CryptoXAI, man. Check out this video as well if you're interested. And he's talking about this why this could be so powerful. Wanted to include this here in the video. Then we have some charting here. Shout out to the Miles Braun, one of the most vocal quant supporters here. He's posting a chart that's actually looking good. This is the higher time frame, and we have this massive wedge here. And yeah, we're looking to be a break to be having this breaking to the upside. And he's talking about here Q4 mainnet launch. So this is what we're waiting for. Then here for the conspiracy theorists under us, some very interesting number here. Of course, I think most people know this is related to the secret societies, the number 33, Freemasonry, and quite interesting that this is included there. Of course, this could be all a coincidence, but I wanted to include this there. And yeah, you can see here they're at the booth here, which is looking it's looking all quite professional here, and very interesting image here. Then we have some more from the Miles Braun talking about the roadmap. So this is what's all coming soon. It's all loading. So we have the Fusion DEX. We talked about the Fusion a little bit in the previous video. Then mainnet launch, very important. This is a big achievement. Network of networks, and then I talked about it as well. Staking also coming up, and here you can see where they talk a bit more about the roadmap here. So shout out to Miles Braun because bringing a lot of value here. And then let's dive in to the charts here because I got some very interesting patterns. I think a lot of people actually look at the USDT chart, and while this of course is good, can provide clues. I really like to be watching the BTC chart and other charts, especially now for Quant. I had drawn this already. Look at this on the high time frame. This is the daily. This pattern has been going on since 2022, and we have been, unfortunately, in a downtrend against BTC. We have been hitting it and hitting it, and now, you get this type of compression as you can see here, and you can see it's now the downtrend starts to become less and less. It starts to get tighter, which means you're getting somewhat of a bottom formation. And here we had this fake out, then we had here this drop, and here we had the final drop. So you could say somewhat of a triple or double bottom here versus Bitcoin. And since then, we actually have been outperforming Bitcoin for quite a bit. Quant has been very strong. As you can see, this is almost 50% against Bitcoin. Which is in this market where Bitcoin has just been king. It's very good. And now it looks like we had this clear breakout. First, already when I was making the last video, I think it was around 14 November, something like that. We already had this breakout, but what you really want to be watching is these daily closes. And we closed below, so we first had some consolidation still. I said to everybody, I am buying here. If you're not in, now's the time to buy. And now we actually had this breakout. And then, this is a big candle, which makes sense for such a long time of consolidation. And then you get this breakout. So now what to expect? Very often you get the retest. It almost always happens. And in this, for such a long breakout, it's actually the perfect time to buy. So if we go here, you could also that it skips it. You don't know. So you don't want to be, if you're not in and you want to be buying this, you don't want to be buying this at the exact point. From here, anywhere between here and here, it's very good to start DCing into Quant right now. So this one I wanted to show you, the BTC chart. It looks like we have a true breakout now, finally. And if you zoom out, you can expect some massive percentages if this actually starts to run and trend up. So first, we want to be seeing, breaking out of this range, because this is still an important area where you can see a lot of resistance. Between this and this, area, there's a lot of liquidity here. And you want to be breaking this in a clean way before upwards continuation, basically. Then the USDT chart, you see the same thing, but then we see higher lows. Here we have this bounce again. So this looks like the last bounce. But yeah, the USDT chart is not there yet. On the higher time frame, we have a similar pattern forming, but you really want to be clearing. Yeah, it's around the 120 area, where we still can find some strong resistance out there. So keep an eye on this. It's very likely that we're now going to trend upwards here and expect some resistance around this 110 and 120 area. Unlikely to go at it one go, but then you know, what the area of interest are. Then I found something else that's very interesting, because often people they know how to look at the Quant BTC chart, Quant USDT chart, but I wanted to take a look at the Quant versus XRP chart. It's very interesting to see, are we going to actually see a rotation here? Of course, we had this massive pump up here. This was during 22, which is Quant has been was on a rip, and XRP went all the way down. And since then, it's actually been the other way. XRP has been outperforming, of course, here with this big drop during the XRP pump. But now it looks like actually we're starting to form a bottom here. We're forming a strong range already since February, since January, where we're performing exactly the same as XRP, basically. And right now, we actually have a breakout. For the first time, we see here, if we go back to the daily, we had the breakout. We already had the retest. So this looks like a very good chart to me. And here again, these percentages, even if you go back up here, this is already a 3x versus XRP if you would hit this level. So very interesting to include. If Quant continues to run and XRP stalls, then we can expect actually to starting running upwards towards this yellow trend line. This is the massive resistance here, first massive resistance. And it's just interesting. This is not the most reliable way for the charting. The main ones are still the BTC pairs and the USDT pair. But this is very interesting. You can see actually that the charting works and that the rotations take place. All right, that's it for this one. This was another Quant video. We're going to be keeping a very tight update on Quant Network going forward, because we have so many things upcoming. We have Mainnet launch, possibly staking coming up. And there's just a lot in the crypto landscape that's changing towards being regulatory compliance stage, which is Quant is running in the front here. So I expect a lot more news to come soon. So we'll keep an eye on that very closely, and you will see more videos coming up. If you had some value from this video, make sure to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Quant. Let me know how long you think it can take before we actually explode. Do you think the bottom is in? Just let me know your thoughts on the project. And support the channel by subscribing. It really helps out, as we're starting to grow now, which I'm very happy with. Happy with the support of everyone here. All right, that's it for this one. Have a good evening, everybody, and talk to you in the next one.